Namaste and a very good evening to all of you. I hope I am audible and visible too. So, hello Gagandi. Gagandip Kaur from SKD University Hanumangarh has already joined in. I'll just wait for another few seconds for other people to join me as well in this session of spoken English. In this session of spoken English, soft skills, communication development, and uh, personality development. I can see Aliza. Hello, Aliza. Good evening. Vikas Kumar. Hello, Vikas. How are you? How are you? And I can see that this session is also live on YouTube. Is also live on YouTube and Facebook too. So, well, welcome to yet another session of soft skills spoken English communication development and personality development. Like every evening, I am with you, your trainer and facilitator, Parmita Dhar, and live I'm streaming from Kolkata on this Facebook YouTube page of SKT University, Hanumangarh, Rajasthan, and this is one initiative that the university has taken uh, to spread the technicalities of how to speak in English, how to communicate with confidence, and so on and so forth. And this started on 15th of July. Today is 16th of August. We are 1 month through, and there hasn't been any day that we did not come on this live session, just because the university people thought that it is a very, very important activity for all the students community. It's not about only the students of SKT University, but anyone and everyone who wants to get some benefit or a lot of benefit or any benefit from this session. Here we discuss about a lot of areas of English language development. Like today you can see it's written that I'll be doing a session on verb. We will be like discussing other areas also. We have discussed a lot on English grammar, and I believe that has been quite helpful to my people who had been attending the session so far. Rekha Singla, Rekha ji, I'm absolutely fantastic, and I hope you are also doing well. Rohit, hello Rohit. Amit Sharma, कैसे हो आप? Vikas Kumar, I'm from Gopalganj, Bihar. Hello, Vikas. How are you? It's so good to see you. Harpinder Kaur, Sadhvir Kaur Sindhu, सारे लोग ज्वाइन कर गए हैं धीरे धीरे, and we will be actually starting the session on verbs today. But before I say that, Venika Pathak, hello Venika, how are you? Manish Kumar, hello Manish. Mohit Baniwal, how are you? Suhavna, Sarika, Anita, Pooja, Anita again, everyone. So hi, it's so good to see you all again. So it's just the first day of the week, the Monday of the week. We will continue this till the Saturday, and then 1 week off on Sunday, and then again we will continue, right? So today we will be dealing with verbs. So before, nice to see you, ma'am. That is what Rekha is writing. Rekha Singla, ma'am, from SKT University. She's a staff there, if I'm not wrong. And so good to know about this, Rekha, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ganesh Sadarangani, she's a PhD scholar. Very good, very good. Actually, PhD has become very important for people who want to stay in academics. रुचिका पुनिया, हाय रुचिका, हाउ आर यू? ममता भंबूस, चलो सारे लोग आ गए हैं. चलिए आज शुरू करते हैं. वर्ब का हिंदी क्या है? क्रिया. आप सबको पता है कि वर्ब क्या है. यू ऑल नो व्हाट वर्ब इज, डोंट यू? डोंट यू? क्या आपको पता नहीं है कि वर्ब क्या है? Verb is any action word. Mansi Chabra, how are you, Mansi? So verb is any action word, isn't it? तो आज क्या खास हम लोग सीखेंगे? कुछ खास नहीं सीखेंगे. Let me tell you, like I cannot do magic, right? हिमांशी, how are you? लेकिन हम लोगों ने जो बचपन में पढ़ा है, जो स्कूल में पढ़ा है, जो हमारे टीचर्स ने, हमारे माता पिता ने हमें पढ़ाया है, उसको हम डे इन एंड डे आउट ब्रशअप कर रहे हैं. इस सेशन में कुछ नया सीख रहे हैं, कुछ पुराना जो हम लोगों ने सीखा था उसको फिर से याद कर रहे हैं. तो इससे क्या होता है, आगे जब हमें इंग्लिश बोलने की या लिखने की ज़रूरत होगी, हम उसे बहुत ही अच्छे से कर पाएंगे, है ना? तो चलिए वर्ब के बारे में थोड़ा सा आप लोगों को मैं बता दूं. वर्ब इज नथिंग बट एन एक्शन वर्ड. जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि चलिए वर्ब के बारे में मैं थोड़ा आपको बता दूं. लाइक दिस बता देना इज लाइक हरि सिंह सहरन, हिमांशी, हेलो हिमांशी, हेलो हरि सिंह जी. सो दिस बता देना क्या कर रहा है, क्या शो कर रहा है? ये शो कर रहा है कि कुछ होने को है. सम एक्टिविटी, सम फिजिकल मेंटल एक्टिविटी इज बीइंग डन, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वर्ब इज ऑल अबाउट. दैट इज व्हाट वर्ब इज ऑल अबाउट. प्रियंका चौधरी, नमस्ते मैम जी. नमस्ते बेटा जी, कैसे हो आप? तो चलिए थोड़ा सा मैं शेयर करती हूँ और उसके बाद आज ज़्यादा शेयर नहीं करेंगे. आज बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ हम लोग सीखेंगे, ठीक है? I'm trying to find out if it is being shared and then on Facebook. Share. No, it's not been shared so far. Chalo. Just a second. It will be shared now. Just waiting for the screen to be shared, though I do not have much to share today, because I thought I'll give you a lot of examples, but there are certain things which needs to be shared, and I believe within a few minutes my screen will be shared, and by that time let me tell you, give you a few examples of verbs, right? The bell rings at 5 p.m. The bell rings at 5 p.m. He spoke the truth. The bubble burst itself. The bubble burst itself. I really, really do not know why is it taking so much of time to be shared. Just wait for another few minutes. The train stopped suddenly. The train stopped suddenly. So, in all these sentences, we have an action word. In all these sentences, we have an action word. And what is that action word? That action word is the verb. That action word is the verb, right? So, we need to understand that a sentence is always complete when there is an action word. For example, I ran a long distance. I ran a long distance. Thank you. So now it is showing at last. At last it has started showing, right? So a verb is a word or a combination of words that indicates action or a state of being or condition. A verb is a part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Verbs are hearts of English sentences, right? So, as many of you have already written, that verbs are the action words. Yes, the same thing has been mentioned in the PPT which I am showing to you right now. And it says Jacob walks in the morning, which is an usual action. Mike is going to school, a condition of action. Albert does not like to walk, a negative action. Anna is a good girl, a state of being, right? So verbs are related to a lot of other factors like subjects, person, numbers, tense, mood, voice. And let me tell you, um, we will do mood tomorrow. That will be important for you to do mood, because to understand, or maybe you all know it, but it would be important for you to understand it once more after we finish verbs, right? Because in that way you will be able to relate the two sessions. So a verb is a word or a combination of words that indicates action or a state of being or condition. A verb is a part of a sentence that tells us what the subject performs. Verbs are heart of English sentences, and you can see there are quite a number of examples which has been given. Or you can take any other example. It's not that only the examples that I have given will be enough. Like, for example, if I say, how do you feel? How do you feel? So feeling is a kind of action, a state of being, isn't it? Or the train stopped suddenly. The train stopped suddenly. Or say for example, the horse never kicks. The horse never kicks, right? Are you being able to understand? I'll just stop my sharing once and I'll come back to your comments and all. Yes, yes. Shalu, Varsha, I can see. Uh, okay, I'm daughter of Rekha Singla, ma'am. Okay, okay, great. So good to see you, my dear. And let me know what is your name too. Okay. I am your friend. Madhu is a good girl. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, that's quite a few examples of verbs coming from your end. Also, I'm trying to give you uh, sentences. I'm trying to give you examples which exactly show you uh, the verb in that sentence. Like one sentence I'm getting from Anita, I believe she wants to do this. She wants to pursue medical. She wants to pursue fashion designing. Hmm? Right, right. So this is also important. He ran a long distance, as I was telling you. The baby sleeps. The baby sleeps. Right? All these are examples of verb. Now let me again share. Mehek, oh hello Mehek, which class you are in? Good that you are attending my session, and thank you for attending my session, right? So this is it. And then comes something called the forms of verb. There are 6 basic forms of verb. The base form, like children play in the field. The infinitive form, like tell them not to play. Past tense, they played football yesterday. Past participle, I have eaten a burger. Present participle, I saw them playing with him today. And gerund, swimming is the best exercise. Gerund, swimming is the best exercise. Okay, these are the few forms of verb, or perhaps the forms of verb as we call them. And if you can just go through the examples, it will be even easier for you to understand, right? Because after this, we will go to the types of verbs, right? But more than anything else, what we need to understand the concepts, the examples. Okay, so the first and the foremost in the types of verbs that we have in this presentation for you is what? Is a finite verb, right? Now, what do we mean by finite verbs? Now, let me stop sharing this, because now I will be giving you a lot of examples, right? Okay. I study in 10th standard. Okay, you are my relative. Right, right. Okay, very good, very good. We are late for school. Absolutely, absolutely. Very good examples coming up. Mehek, my dear girl, I am nahi hoga. I study in 10th standard. I study in 10th standard. ठीक है? Okay, very good, very good. So you have a lot of pressure of academics, but at the same time, you're taking out time and attending the session. That is very, very good, very good. Now, what are finite verbs? Finite are the actual verbs that are called the roots of the sentences. The roots of the sentences. It is a form of verb that is performed by or refers to the subject and uses one of the 12 forms of tense and change according to the number or person of the subject. For example, Alex went to school. Alex went to school. So in this particular sentence, which one is the subject? Which one is the subject? Alex went to school. Ria Doda, hello Ria. Iftikhar, huh? Alex is the subject. Absolutely, absolutely. So the subject is performing the action. Always. The object cannot perform any action. I'm reading a book. I'm reading a book. Can my book, which is the object, perform the action? No. The subject has to perform the action, right? So, Alex performed the action when Alex went to school. तो कब किया उसने action? In the past tense. Alex performed the action in the past tense, right? In the past. Sorry, not in the past tense. I mean in the past. So it is a sentence where verb is used where verb is used in the past tense. Went. Alex will go to school. Alex will go to school is the present one. Is the present one. Isn't it? So, this information is evident only from the verb went. Whether it is performed now, whether it is performed in the past, whether it will be performed in the future. Where from we would get to know about it? We would get to know about it from the verb itself. From the verb itself, isn't it? Dr. Rachna Sharma, hello Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Robert plays hockey. Robert plays hockey. What kind of a tense it is? See, it is all any grammar, any part of grammar, whether it is English or any vernacular language. Poonam Chalia, good to see you, my dear. They are very overlapping and interlinked. They are overlapping and interlinked. Right? Why so? Why so? Because one part of speech, one area of grammar is not complete enough to make the sentence or make the concept or make the writing complete in itself. So when we are talking about verb today, when we are trying to learn a little bit of verb or trying to brush up a little bit of verb, we are also getting back again and again and again to tenses. Yes, Anita, you are right. Lakhvinder Kaur, hello Lakhvinder. So it is present perfect tense. Every day he plays. Yes or no? Present tense, absolutely. He is playing for Australia. He is playing for Australia. It's a continuous thing. Some player has been chosen to play for a particular nation. All right? Some player has been chosen to play for a particular nation. So it's a continuous process. Henceforth, he will keep on playing till further changes. Till further changes, right? Then comes something called non-finite verb. Non-finite verb. Yes, Anita, absolutely, absolutely. Now, what do we mean by that? These are not actual verbs. They do not work as verbs in the sentence. Rather, they work as noun, adjective, adverb, etc. Right? Non-finite verbs do not change according to the number or person of the subject, because these verbs are also called verbals, do not have any direct relationship with the subject. For example, I have a broken bat. I have a broken bat. It's non-finite. Walking is a good habit. Walking is a good habit. James went abroad to play. James went abroad to play. Okay. So these are what we call is a non-finite verb. Non-finite verbs, right? Am I clear to all of you? Please do write here. Okay. What is this PCT? गगनदीप, ये PCT क्या है बेटा? Can you tell me what is this PCT? Oh, do you mean that it's a kind of a okay. So acha. Non-finite verb. Yes, I got you. Non-finite verbs, I'll give you an example. It is dangerous to drive on this slippery road. We are ready to play now. I feel it difficult to comprehend. These all are examples of non-finite verb, like because they do not work as the actual verb in the formation of the sentence. They have the form of verbs, but they do not work as them. They work as adjective. they work as adjective, adverbs, or gerunds. They work as adjectives, adverbs, or gerunds. Am I clear to you? They are not the actual verb. For example, just when we thought that we had verbs figure out, then we have something as a verb which cannot serve as the main verb, cannot serve as the main verb in an independent clause. It cannot serve as a main verb in an independent clause. In practical terms, it means that they don't serve the action in the sentence. Rather, they support it. And they also do not have a tense. In the previous one, I gave you examples of how tense is important or how we come to know about tenses. Isn't it? Isn't it? So while the sentence around them may be past, present, or future tense, the non-finite verbs themselves are neutral. Say, for example, it is dangerous to drive on slippery roads. Right. So here what happens? It is a statement which is true at any point of time. It is a statement which is true in any point of time. Isn't it? And there are three types of non-finite verbs. Those are gerunds, participles, and infinitives. Gerunds, participles, and infinitives. These we will do when we will be doing a lot of exercises. Okay? Because if I give you a theoretical understanding of this, frankly speaking, it would be very monotonous and it would be very taxing on your brain to understand it. So I'll just give you an example. Say, for example, to speak. I want to speak to you. So to speak is the verb. Spoke is the simple past. And spoken is the past participle. So what we can do is we can just make a chart of it with a few examples like this, and we can just see how it is being done. Otherwise, what will happen, my dear boys and girls, the entire concept will become so theoretical that you will not be able to take it inside. It is very important for us in the grammar session, and I do think you would agree with me that I try to make you understand it in such a way that you people can relate it to your day-to-day life, isn't it? Can you do it with the previous sessions that we have done on tenses and pronouns and adjectives and adverbs? And today we are doing verbs and direct to indirect sentences, narration, and then we also did modal verbs and all. Do you agree that we try to learn, we try to understand that we will be, we do it in a manner which we can relate to our daily activity of communication, and in the process, we remember it well. Okay, now comes the next one, which we called the action verb. Verb is action. बचपन से हम लोगों ने यही सीखा है कि the action word is the verb, right? So what is an action word? The action verb actually indicates what the subject of a sentence performs, right? Neeraj Chopra won the gold medal in Tokyo Olympics 2021, 2020 in fact, to be precise, right? So which one is the action here? Which one is the action here? One. one, isn't it? So action verb indicates what the subject of a sentence performs. Action verb indicates what the subject of a sentence performs. Action verbs can make the listener, the reader, feel the emotion. Yes, yes, absolutely. Harpinder and Gagandeep, you are right. You can feel the emotion. It is raining continuously. Which one is the action here? Tell me. I painted the car yellow. I painted the car yellow. Which one is the action here? Hurry up, all of you. Yes, yes, Sadhvir Kaur Sidhu. Absolutely correct. Anita too. पेंट. बाप रे, आपने पेंट को हिंदी में लिखा, उसको पढ़ने में मुझे 30 सेकंड ज्यादा लग गए, राइट? अचानक से. ओके, यस, द आई पेंटेड द कार. सो द वर्ब पेंट demands an object to be painted. So there is an action, right? Action verbs can make the listener or the reader feel emotions. Feel the emotions. Painting nahi beta, painting. P-A-I-N-T-I-N-G. Painting. Painting. See scenes more vividly and accurately. Right? So when we talk, I always say use action words. Why? Because when we use action words, our listeners, our spectators can visualize that. जब आप कुछ लिखेंगे, when you write something, absolutely, when you write something, right, then you use action words, action verbs. It will help your readers to imagine that, to feel that action. Okay, that is where action verb is coming. She's reading the newspaper. Gagandeep is attending a session. Right? And in this particular sentence, if you see, she's reading the newspaper. The verb is which one? The verb is which one? Reading. Read is the verb. She's washing clothes. Absolutely. So read is the verb, and it is asking, it is giving a cue to what is she reading? A newspaper. Right? The answer is the object. The answer is the object. Somebody gave an example. Yeah, Anita, she's washing clothes. So wash is the verb, and clothes is the answer to that verb, on which the action has been taken. On which the action has been taken. Am I clear? Modan Singh, honors agriculture. Chalo Modan Singh ji, namaste. Am I clear to all of you? Please tell me. Then we have something, okay, all clear. Then we have something which is called the transitive verb. Just a second, my dear. The transitive and the intransitive verb. Then we have something which is called the transitive or and the intransitive verb too. Okay. Now, what is a transitive verb? A transitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which passes over from the doer or subject to an object. To an object. Again, a transitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which passes over from the doer or subject to the object. And at the same time, let us understand what is an intransitive verb. An intransitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which does not pass over to an object. For example, the ants fought the wasp. The ant fought the wasps. Or the driver stopped the train. Subject, beach mein verb, and then object. Right? And what is it? The action flows over from the subject or the doer of the action to the object. So, the subject here in this particular sentence, the driver stopped the train. Who is the subject? The subject is the driver. What is the action? What is the verb? Stopped. रोक दिया उसने. Stopped. And what did he stop? The train. So which one is the object? The object is the train. Do you understand what I'm saying, my dear boys and girls? Okay. Right? In intransitive verb, what is happening? What is happening in intransitive verb? An intransitive verb is a verb that denotes an action which does not pass over to an object or which expresses a state of being. Which expresses a state of being. For example, how do you feel? How do you feel? Is it not a state of an object? Is it not a state of being, whether it is a subject or an object? He smiled. He smiled. Mukul. Hello, Mukul. Thank you so much for joining in. He smiled. I wake up at 6 a.m. I wake up at 6 a.m. No object is required in this sentence. Isn't it? I wake up at 6 a.m. Do you think any object is required in this sentence? The bell rang loudly. The bell rang loudly is an example of intransitive verb. Is an example of intransitive verb. Okay. Am I clear to all of you? She gets up early. Absolutely. Absolutely. They were crying at the top of their voice. Yes, do is a verb. Do is a verb. Absolutely verb. Okay. Am I clear to all of you? Then we have something which is called the linking verbs. Which is called the linking verb. What is a linking verb? The term itself, the word itself tells us link. Jo connecting. Adds detail about the subject of a sentence. It is the simplest form. It connects the subject and the complement. That is the words that follow the linking verb. It creates a link between them instead of showing action. Right? Generally, the linking verbs are called the be verbs. यहाँ पे किसी ने दिया था ना, do is a verb. Yes, doing is always a verb. There is something called be verb, like am, is, are, was, were, right? This is called the linking verbs. We also call it very commonly, we call it the linking verbs, right? There are some other verbs that can work as linking verbs also. The commonest be verbs are what? Am, is, are, were. However, there are some other verbs also that can work as linking verbs, right? And those are act, feel, remain, appear, become, seem, smell, sound, grow, look, prove, stay, taste, turn, etc. Right? Some verbs in this list, which I just shared with you, can also be action verbs depending upon how it is being used. ठीक है बच्चों? अच्छा, एग्जाम्पल्स देखते हैं. जैसे she appears ready for the game. That means she is ready for the game. She is ready for the game, or she appears to be ready for the game. Or the food was delicious. The food was delicious. The food seemed delicious. You are happy. You are happy. Are is a be verb or a linking verb. I change the word are. I write or I say you look happy. You look happy. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? क्या आप लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोलने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ? आप मुझे थोड़ा लिख के बताइए. I am fine. Yes, I seem to be fine. I seem to be fine. समझे बेटा? Then comes something which we call them the auxiliary verbs, which we call the auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs are also called the helping verbs. They're also called the helping verbs, right? And auxiliary verbs extend help to whom? To the main verb. To the main verb, right? By helping to show. क्यों हेल्प करते हैं? ताकि टाइम दिखा पाए, टेंस दिखा पाए, पॉसिबिलिटी दिखा पाए, राइट? The auxiliary verbs are be verbs, have and do. जो be verbs हम लोगों ने अभी डिस्कस किया, those are also the auxiliary verbs. And then there is have and do. किसी ने कुछ देर पहले लिखा था do is a verb. Yes, do seems to be an auxiliary verb. They're used in continuous and perfect tenses. They're used in continuous and perfect tenses. Okay. And linking verbs work as the main verb in the sentence, but auxiliary verb helps the main verb. Do is an auxiliary verb that is used to ask questions, to express negation, to provide emphasis, and more. Alex is going to school. Example, Alex is going to school. Right? So in this sentence, where is the verb? Where is the verb? Where is the auxiliary verb? Tell me. Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, but why is it auxiliary verb? Why it is auxiliary verb? No, the auxiliary verb is. Anita, it's a good try. It's a good try. But the auxiliary verb is. It is supporting. It is supporting the main verb, that is go. Right? And how is it helping the sentence? It is helping in formation of the tense. It is helping in formation of the tense. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you? Is, absolutely. Yeah, here she is. Here she is. Right? The gate was opened. The gate was opened. Which one is the auxiliary verb here? Tell me, hurry up. Was. Why? Why so? You're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct, my dear. But क्यों? ये क्यों मुझे बताइए आप. सोच के बताइएगा. I'm telling everything. You have to think and tell me, right? अच्छा, another example is like, sometimes we use an auxiliary verb to avoid repetition. To avoid repetition. For example, do you know him? Do you know him? Yes, I do. Or sif, I do. Yes, I do know him. Not required. Not required. Yes, I do. She sings well. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Right? In a kind of a question answer format. In a kind of a question answer format, right? Then we have something which is called what? Which we have already done. So I am not going to do this with you. You are going to tell this to me. Yes, to complete it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only to complete it, Anita, but to make the tense clear. To make the tense clear. Am I clear to you, my dear girl? Yes, you are. Say, for example, so when I ask you the question, am I clear to you? You say yes, you are. You aren't. नहीं आप नहीं हो. हाँ आप हो. Yes, you are. No, you aren't. Right? In that way. And then comes something called the modal verbs. Modal verbs हम लोगों ने सीखा था कुछ दिन पहले हम लोगों ने सीखा था. क्या था? A modal verb is a kind of auxiliary verb. It assists the main verb to indicate the possibility, potentiality, ability, permission, expectation, and obligation. The modal verbs are can, could, must, may, might, ought to, shall, should, will, would. These are all examples of modal verbs. He should call him. I will go there. आप लोग को याद है? Yes or no मुझे बताइए. If you remember it, very good. If you do not remember it, I can always try to do it, brush it up a little bit in the sentence. Can you help me regarding what, my dear? I'm here to help you only, but regarding what? Can you help me? Yes, I can. Can you help me? Yes, I can. Is it what you are trying to say? Is it what you are trying to say? Okay. I understand. Yeah, I just try to give you a little bit of idea about what is it, what this modal verbs is all about. It is used to indicate things like likelihood, ability, permission. Like two of my friends can play guitar. Two of my friends can play guitar. Okay, so what is it indicating? It is indicating the ability of two friends. The ability of two friends, right? So verbs such as can, could, shall, should, ought to, will, or would. These are all examples of modal verbs which are used to express ideas such as possibility, necessity, permission, etc. Right? Can, could, may, might, will, should, ought, all these are examples. Right? So Tom can write poetry. I can help you with the work. Or in the that is in the present tense. In the future, say I won't be able to visit you, I won't be able to attend the party, I wasn't able to attend the school picnic last year, right? Can you lend me $10? Could I have your number? All these are examples of modal verbs. All these are examples of modal verbs. Am I clear to all of you? Am I clear to all of you? अनीता, आपको समझ में आया थोड़ा थोड़ा modal verb क्या है? Could you understand a little bit of what I am trying to say when I am trying to explain modal verbs to you? So there is a possibility, right? I have used a modal verb to ask you the question so that you can understand it well. क्या समझ में आया थोड़ा थोड़ा? हाँ? Then there is something called phrasal verb. फ्रेजल वर्ब आपको पता है व्हाट आर फ्रेजल वर्ब्स? फ्रेजल वर्ब का एक अलग सेशन मुझे लेना होगा. Maybe tomorrow I will take a session on moods and phrasal verbs because those two are simple, short uh, exercises, small exercises, or I will do moods and phrasal verbs tomorrow. Let me write because I have to make the PPT. ठीक है. Abhi, you have to tell me what else in English grammar you want from me, because now slowly I will move into personality. Slowly I will move into personality development and soft skills. I've been doing grammar with you for quite long, but अभी भी थोड़ा थोड़ा टाइम आया है कि मैं थोड़ा टाइम मैनेजमेंट, कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग, ड्रेसिंग, पर्सनालिटी, ग्रूमिंग, सोशल एटिकेट्स, इन सब के बारे में भी आप लोगों के साथ डिस्कस करूं. आप मुझे बताइए कि आप लोगों को और क्या जानना है, क्या सीखना है, क्या मेरे साथ डिस्कस करना है, बताओ. Because with your feedback I can come to know like what and how things are going on. Modals, I just did that. रुचि पुनिया, मुहावरेदार क्रिया, ये क्या है? फ्रेजल वर्ब्स. यस, यू आर राइट, लेकिन वी विल डू इट एज फ्रेजल वर्ब. थैंक यू फॉर हेल्पिंग मी विद द हिंदी वर्ड. यस, मॉडल वर्ब्स वी हैव डन. रुचिका, अगर टाइम रहा तो मैं थोड़ा आपको बता दूं. अभी मैंने थोड़ा सा बता दिया था just now. So what is did you not listen to what I say? Ruchika, please respond, otherwise it becomes very difficult for me to understand. कब हम लोग यूज करते हैं modal verb? When do we use modal verb? Tell me. When there is a likelihood, there is an ability, there is some kind of permission seeking, there's some kind of possibility, then we use verbs such as can, could, shall, should, ought to, will, and these all comes under the concept of modal verbs. Are you telling me that only idioms also we have done? But I will do a little bit more of idioms because idioms are endless, idioms are endless, and the more we know, the better for us. Probability, yes, for modal verbs, absolutely, Anita. The better for us while we write or speak in English. So idioms, perhaps I will do a little bit more. Yes, you are right. Thank you for reminding me. But then I have done one session. You can go to the Facebook page of SKD University and you can find it out so that you can just brush it up. I think this is all from my end today. If you have anything else in your mind, you just take some time, maybe in tomorrow's class. Please do come prepared with the topics that you want me to discuss. Okay? That is very, very important, because if you do not tell me what is your requirement, I will not be able to understand what is your requirement, because I only communicate with you on this comment section of this live streaming. So it's very, very important for us for you to let me know what exactly you seek for, right? So I'll be seeing you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Till then, अच्छा, एक होमवर्क देती हूँ मैं आज, जैसे प्राइमरी के बच्चों को देते हैं कि कल 2 नए शब्द सीख के आना. आप लोग दो नए शब्द कल आप लोग सीख के आना. ये मेरा होमवर्क है, एक स्टैंडर्ड होमवर्क है, लेकिन कभी कभी मैं पूछती हूँ आपसे, कल पूछूंगी, याद से एकदम फर्स्ट थिंग फर्स्ट टुमारो, राइट? So please, from 6 o'clock today till 5 o'clock tomorrow, you have a lot of time, and you do an entire 24 hours. So please do try to find out two words which is new to you. A word which is new to you might not be new to me. A word which is new to me might not be new to you. So it's up to you which words are new to you. Not only the words, the use of the words, उस word को कैसे हम लोग समझे और कैसे उसको यूज करें. ये दो चीज आप लोग थोड़ा सा ध्यान लगा के देख के आना. कल फिर मिलेंगे. तब तक के लिए बाय बाय, टेक केयर.